Well, the door's still open.
Got 2,600 litres of Jet A as well.
Also, getting this electric connected is going to be
yeah,
interesting.
I think maybe I should put the connector on the front rather than the back. I mean, if I let the engine die, we won't be able to start it again unless we charge up, so... But having said that, I've not got that much fuel. Adam14, thank you for the bits. Fawn, thank you for the Airbus sound.
Leave it this side, Pups, and winch it in and see what happens. Leave it lined up and then turn
That was never going to work, Ben GT.
Well, you grab it then and tell me when.
Right, I think that's lined up, so turn the winch on.
Oh, okay.
It's really misty.
Right, no, stop for a sec. Right, go.
Right, go in.
Oh no!
Oh!
Hang on, quickly, get it back out, get it back out.
Yeah, I'll give it a I'll do it.
There we go.
Is that the electrical?
Yeah.
Battery just shot up to like 70% instantly. Fine, got the engine now.
Yep. Oh, so your brakes on, or is that thing sliding backward?
The brake's on, but things still slide in this game.
So, please, sir, can we have some money, sir? Please, sir.
Yes. Some lights near the back of the cargo area so you can see on your way in as well.
Yeah, I need to put some lights on my finger as well.
I would not put this plane on the workshop. Not yet. It's nowhere near ready for steam.
Wonder how strong this electrical connector is.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
The plane's sliding backwards.
Did you put the wheel up?
Temporarily.
Did you put the front wheel up, or did it pop up when the battery got charged?
So,
Popped up on its own.
when we pulled the electrical connector from one side of the plane to the other using the winch, it sort of sprung up, at which point we managed to get the actual electrical connector on.
Interesting.
So there was sort of a physic derp that we took advantage of.
Right, so you've got 15,000 litres of diesel and about 3,000 litres of Jet A in this thing, well, 2.5.
Okay.
So is this doesn't have a Jet A tank, does it?
No, it's just diesel.
Oh man, I don't want to despawn it and lose 2,500 litres of Jet A.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go and change the save game so I can spawn the thing, and then we can get the fuel out.
Okay. Save it now then.
Yeah.
Is it worth disconnecting my truck first before you save it, Paul, after what happened when we tried to load the save?
You're too late. That boat sailed. But I'd recommend you disconnecting it, yeah.
It's disconnected. I'm gonna move it out the way of the plane as well.
Okay, I'm gonna reload.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Yeah, it's the bank here. We've just pre-approved you for a loan.
Right, let me find the save game. Data, roaming, Stormworks, saves. Where are you? There you are.
Give us 6 billion.
Yeah. Whoops! I slipped with the 0 key. Oh no.
Whatever you borrow, you've got to pay 10% interest on it.
Fine, 7 billion.
Do you accept it in blocks?
Currency. Hang on, Notepad++ is not responding. There we go.
Mom, Squirrel's cheating again.
Mum, Somi got us into this position in the first place.
It's genuinely not my fault. It was an executive decision that we all took.
Whoa, I had no part to play in this. I just went for the rowing.
I like how you guys are just basically distancing yourself from any blame as much as you possibly can.
Wait, can I what did I do? I stayed up till 2 a.m. fixing this save. I did not say let's fly to the Arctic. No, I did not.
Right, jump back in.
Puppy ran.
Connor, did I trick you into thinking it's your PC? No. It was Wyland who wanted that sound, if I remember.
But hey, it didn't break. Off, please.
Right, you have $250,000. We expect 10% interest on that. Why can I like a dot matrix printer?
You say where I
No.
am?
You see, Pups, that happened to me on your car last night, and I said to you, put a cover on it, and you were like, yeah, I'll put a cover on it.
I have. I was sat in the driver's seat, spawned in, and got glitched through it. Look, if you go on the engine now, you can't get stuck.
Yeah, but it sounds like an old computer.
That was a winch. It got stuck.
I'm assuming we still can't push objects, only Paul can, because he is big and mighty.
Well done.
Hang on, you need a bit of squirrel power in your life. I got this.
There we go.
Mind you don't get run over, Pups. It would be such a shame.
Wow.
Whereabouts do you want this?
That'll do there somewhere.
Anywhere. Right, so what are we pumping into this one?
Well,
Either diesel or jet A.
I suggest you pump the diesel into here,
Okay.
but because we
Floppy
haven't got
drive,
anywhere to put the jet A yet.
Somi, watch yourself! This thing desperately needs lights. Somi, where's this going?
We're working on it, DJ.
On the in.
Oh, Puppy's, this one here, a Pups can, but it's only a pump, it's not a fuel store. But that's what we need, a little refueling trucks. What we need.
3,600 a minute.
What, how much can it take?
This has got a capacity of 23,000.
Right, so it can take all that then.
Yeah. The flow rate. Oh, that's weird. The flow rate dials are like pointing in the same direction.
Wait, what?
So if you look at this end,
Yeah.
it's pointing to the right. If you go to the other end, it's pointing to the left.
LOL.
You're not watching till the game changes, what does that mean? You think the fuel tank of the wheels will be able to drive itself? Oh, I read that already. First time I've ever heard Pups rage. Really? Honestly,
What do you mean, really?
your engine ticking over just reminds me of being at the fairground.
Yeah, we had this conversation last night.
I know, it's just the sound. It really just reminds me of walking around and, you know, they've all got the little generators there and making candy floss and burgers and stuff.
Oh, I want to go to the fair now.
It's clearly labelled in and out in different fonts. Button pushed. Doesn't it say what the capacity of this is on the thing, just on the tag of the tank, 15k, so yeah. Is there a purpose to the game? Yeah. Essentially, the game's about building things to do rescue services. You get missions to rescue things, or to do scientific research, or move people around via the game. The missions at the moment are a bit simplistic, but they're working on scripting that, or on allowing you to script your own missions. And that'll open the door for some pretty interesting missions, I think. Once you let the players get in there and make missions, it will get a lot more fun. At the moment, they're a bit rudimentary, but they're opening it up real soon to scripting missions. But besides that, you can make some pretty interesting stuff, like automated systems on board aircraft and boats and helicopters and trains. Which is kind of fun. You can use a controller, yeah. So it is, you know, early access, as it says on the screen. It's an early access
Why do
game.
I keep hearing connectors disconnect?
It is fun. There's lots
Well,
of
I
really
just
cool,
disconnected
interesting
that
things
one
you can
because
do,
it's
but
full.
it is buggy and janky in places. So, you know, you are buying into a proper early access game.
Oh, have you seen my battery level meters?
Soon or soon. Benno, they update the game about every, you know, 1 to 3 weeks on average. So they're constantly adding stuff. They're not, in my opinion, sometimes don't fix the essentials. Like, the whole oil system is broken in the Arctic right now. They're not fixing it. It's been months and they've not fixed it. Why? I don't get that. It's very frustrating as a player. There are things that matter to players. Things like the oil system matters if you're playing on limited fuel. The way winches are carried and moved around can be glitchy. They are kind of working on the winch system.
Don't
So
forget falling through the map.
they're addressing that. Yeah, falling through the map, I don't know if that's got anything to do with Jack's mods. Like, I'm not blaming Jack, but the game was updated after he made those mods.
So, we've just pumped a load of fuel in, and we've pumped a bit of fuel out, and all 5 batteries are still at 1. So do pumps not drain battery?
No, because that one hasn't got a pump on, has it?
Yeah, this has got 2 pumps on the inside.
Pumps don't take a lot of battery power from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
Unlike
So are you
door
gonna leave
hinges.
that
Does that
connected,
make
Bubs?
sense?
Yeah.
This needs to go down to the other place now, doesn't it?
Well, you need to tow this thing.
Yeah, I need to put it on the back connector then.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want it hanging off the side.
Well, whatever's more
I
convenient.
agree, DJ. The oil not working
Obviously,
is a
it's gonna tow
game-breaking
dirt,
bug.
'cause you could put it on the central connector on the top, but
Right. What's Paul gonna do with the jet fuel?
creative but gets boring fast. I agree. Like, that's
Well,
what I said
we
about the
either
game. The thing
go
that
and empty
separates
the
this game
thing,
from all the others
or
is
I
the
spawn
missions.
another thing and we
Like,
leave
they give you a
2,000
purpose to
litres of
make
jet
things.
fuel here.
They don't just say to you, oh, here's a sandbox game, make a great plane, guys. They say, here's a bunch of problems that you need to solve, make a vehicle. Was you saying something to me then?
Yeah.
What?
We were asking what your plan is with the jet fuel that you have still in the plane.
Well, ideally, we need to get it back into some sort of Jet A tank, really. So maybe the answer is spawn another one of these, and then we'll get Curly Toes to airlift it back to the... Because, like, Jet A's hard to get. Or we just lose it. Well, that's the other option, just throw it away and boat some more over.
There you go.
What have you done? Oh, you
Spawned
spawned
another
another
one.
Pepsi Fever, thank you for 27
I've got to
months.
connect this back up. On.
Is it possible to make an
I eat
aircraft with
mussels
folded wings,
full.
Lotus? Yes. What you would do is the wing sections that you need in between, just put a hinge, just collapse it away. I don't know about the old rigs now. What's broken at the moment is if you go up to the Arctic, see, normally you can take a train to this refinery and grab a load of very, very, very cheap crude oil, okay? And then what you can do is you can train it all the way back again. Get it down to here, stick it on a boat or something, and then drive it down to... Gone blind. Drive it over to here, where they will buy...
You got it, Simon?
No, hang on.
At the moment,
Not that
yes.
one. Sorry. You take crude down to the refineries like this one. They'll buy crude for 19 cents. So if you're buying it at 4 and selling it at 19 cents, that's not a bad little markup. Actually, I got that wrong. You can sell it for 50 cents.
Is just so...
You can buy it for 4 cents and sell it for 50 cents here. The markup, if you do it locally, you can buy from this here for 19 and sell it here for 50, which is like a 30-cent markup. If you can get it from the Arctic and get it down here, you'll get a huge markup. So if you can do that, then you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, we're on. Winching pups out of curiosity.
The other thing you can do is buy Jet A from here and take
say
it
it
and
again.
sell it.
I just
winching it in.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Where is it now?
There you go, winching in.
Here. So you can sell jet fuel here for
Oh, we might as well, at the
$10
very least,
a
winch it at the
litre.
hangar for Curly Toes, right?
And you can buy it here for $4 a litre. So you're basically making $6 per litre, which is a big quantity. So if you can take a
We're down
ship
to
and just
press
move
right
Jet A
winch.
from there to there, you can make a lot of money.
There we go, now I'm pressing the right one.
The cost to transport it will be
There we go.
absorbed
Yeah,
easily.
you're off.
If you can move enough of it, you'll absorb the transportation costs easily. Yeah, you can buy and sell
How far
diesel,
do
you
you
can
want
buy and sell Jet A, you can buy and sell
Well, so
crude,
that
you just
can
can't
hook
do
up
it from the
Curly Toes
Arctic.
to it.
Anywhere down here still
That'll do.
works. All of the buy sells down here are fine. It's just up here. They're broken.
Right, Paul, your plane's empty.
Okay. Well, from here to here is 100 kilometers.
So is the back winch going on?
Does anybody
one?
else know what's around this area? Is there anything else around here? Like, anything useful?
What are we trying to do now?
We're going to drag this to Spy Cakes, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Right, let me sort these connectors out, hang on.
Right, so I can just recover this back to the workbench now.
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet I spawn underwater pups?
A tenner.
Like, whenever I teleport around, initially my character spawns underwater. And I don't know how to fix this. It's so incredibly annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why it's saying it's up there when there's still like 11 meters of cable out.
Well, it's like I spawn in, but the elevation
one
height of
needs to
my
be
character is
connected.
too low. It's like I spawn at base sea level rather than ground level.
Where?
The only way you can
I've got
get out of
the
this is to try and
gear
get out of the,
Oh, okay. Well, in theory, you can just connect to a fluid one, right?
Yeah,
God.
here goes nothing.
Sometimes if you keep doing it, it works like
Ready on the
a weird
brakes.
snare.
Okay,
Then when you're on
game.
ground here and then teleport back there, hopefully it'll be on
in-
ground again.
Teleported.
I don't know, Battle Cattle. See, look at that. He just spawned me through the map again. Through a building.
How much cable have you got out?
The stat, take 40 months.
46 meters.
I think that's way too much. You need like 4.
Yeah, trying to like get up, but like line up.
Right, so the battery. Let me just show you this.
There you go. It's the one at the
So
end.
on the back of the jet engine is a turbine. See, it's a small electric turbine. And it has an electric connector on it that says the electric connections output electric energy.
Right. Try that.
The electric connections
Well,
output
initially, let's just see if
electric
it'll
energy.
work.
And so that is linked to here, which is my battery relay. It goes straight into the
Game,
batteries.
please.
And there it goes bang straight into the batteries.
For me, the cable is just floating.
And for some reason,
Yeah, I'm going
that doesn't
back in the
produce any
hangar
power.
and you're driving away.
The text says output, but the type says input. The text says output, but the type says input. Why would you input electricity into that turbine, Wyland?
What sort of connector is this? A fluid?
The fluid, yeah.
Hmm. Let go, pups. There we go. Right.
Right, so
That's one way
this
to do it.
has a little power connector on it somewhere, which I probably
Right. So now pull away.
had. Wait a minute, where's the power on this? Oh, the fuel line goes
Yeah,
in
the
there.
turns are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working.
Isn't there a power output connector, or do I need to add one?
Did that just like turn on the spot?
Is it only the...
Well,
Oh,
in theory it will, because that's 4 axes that are fixed.
It's going to overtake us.
No, that'll be alright. See, if the cable looks slack, there's no sense. Is
yeah,
there? Like,
only the medium
I
turbine.
don't know whether it's like...
So the medium
it's
turbine
actually
has the power
come up
output on
or
it,
the
whereas the
game's just being
small
glitchy.
No, I
turbine
think
does
it's
not.
That's the right distance.
So basically what we're saying is if you have a small jet engine, you cannot generate power. How are you supposed to generate power then? That's so dumb. Yes, I built the plane. So what we're saying here is that small jet engines can't generate electricity, like at all. There's no way of making it do
Does
it.
that make sense?
Right, okay. So is there actually a section that you can put in a jet engine of a correct size
Nope.
with a generator then?
Nope,
Oh,
only the
okay.
medium engine does that. The medium engine has a power connector that you can use to drive a generator, but the small engine does not.
I'm sorry, but that's dumb.
So can you do like I'm trying to think of the plan. Can you not put another jet engine in front of the tail and set it on like 1 RPS, something ridiculous that uses minimal fuel but has a generator? Don't connect it to a main throttle lever. You know, have it as like a standby APU type thing.
Well, I'd have to burn Jet A, whatever it was, and the only thing I can burn Jet A and produce power is a medium jet engine, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how big it is in theory of your creation.
How many batteries are you trying to charge? I don't know how many the plane has.
Why does it matter?
Just say you could just like stick a small diesel engine in the back or something with a generator. We doing this to the ship or the train, Sammy?
I was then going to look. It depends on whether we think it's more effective on the ships or the trains.
Ship.
Jet
We're
compressor.
gonna have to top the ship up with jet fuel and get it back to the hangar.
So there's 10,000 litres capacity in here that we could put that in. So
Yeah.
shall we do that?
Do it. Yeah. I'm on my way. Can you get ready to press the brakes on your contraption?
Why is there only a small jet
What was that
intake and a
for?
large jet intake?
I sense a radio controlled circuit required that you can remote turn the brakes on and off. They're on.
Come on, me. I just got tugged backwards.
Right, so are you in a situation where you can just connect to the gantry, or do you just want to go direct onto the...
I can connect to the gantry if you want. Or we can just drag this across. Just drop this one, we'll just drag this one.
What Wyland? You will need to replace the turbine. Hang on. So if that's a small turbine, and that's a medium turbine.
Got enough cable?
Yep.
So they're the same, it's just an extra block. Is that all it is?
Which button is it? That one. There you go.
Just one extra block.
Nice.
You go, see 22 out. I think that's pretty good.
Okay. And if I then attach a small gen to it like that.
Sammy, is it worth spawning the boat in here and just going to get the jet fuel now?
Clutch in a generator. Are you kidding me?
Because we're closer.
Why do I need a clutch?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is the best place to go.
Why do we need a clutch on it?
Yeah, because we're going to need 15k at where Paul is, and then...
So the plan of getting it to where...
So you mean something to manage it so that when the battery's going down, it brings the clutch in?
Harrison.
Right, so Harrison's got 4 out of 15. So we're going to need roughly 11 there, and then we're going to need complete 15 where Paul is.
So we need 30, ideally.
Yeah.
Or 25. Yeah, 25, ideally.
And then we can just use... we can just pull up close on the shore and then just use my pump truck to run cables down.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll need to go to the train base at O'Neill, won't we?
Yeah. Or we can go down the canal.
What do we connect? That's just the thrust spoiler, isn't it? So we're not actually connecting to anything on here.
So we're going to have to do a jet fuel run to Harrison and O'Neill.
Well, in theory, we could like... I mean, I'm
it literally says the same label. It says the electric connection to output electric energy, and then says there's an input.
Canal at Harrison.
Yeah.
Going through round under the bridge.
No, I'm going to rotate it all one. Don't worry about that. I'm just playing at the moment.
Shore bit where the sort of Y junction is.
Okay.
And then if we've got to spawn the thing in and the pump truck in at Harrison, then we can.
Yeah. Even if we just spawn 2 pump trucks, so that'd give us just over 1,000 meters of cable.
Yeah.
So if we grab the back end of this and then basically move it, pull it apart, we can slot this in.
Would be I could then be repositioning the boat when you're unloading it. That would be the only advantage.
Yeah, let's do that then. That would work.
So if we snap that off the back.
Oh, I just did a rookie thing, didn't I?
What did you do?
Snap that, pull it back a square, remove the turbine, slot the new turbine in.
Maybe not.
Do it on the other
I
side.
thought I spawned in.
Box it all up.
That's what I was looking for. That's why I went nice boat.
Just piped it to a generator today, so I couldn't be bothered with that in a clutch. Fair
There's not
enough.
a block floating there, is there?
Attach a
Right.
small motor to act as a starter motor to the jet turbine to counteract the drag from the generator. Then a gearbox or generator. Attach a small motor to act as a starter motor to the jet turbine. You can plug it. You can plumb it all back, yeah, if you want to.
So we're done with your pump truck here, aren't we?
So, me,
Yeah.
come and look at your boat. It says out, but there's nothing to...
Yeah, that's because the winch thing was broken, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, didn't we fix it?
I couldn't make it work how we wanted it to work. E.g., I used to have a
So if
pump on the
we
end
get
of it.
rid of that,
Yeah.
So everything else still works, but just, yeah.
I mean,
So
you
can
know,
we
we
still-
can
if
we
we
could
top
run
this
a
up with
power
jet fuel,
line
can
all the
we
way
get back
back
out still?
into the center of the plane,
I think.
Oh,
and
don't say you
then,
think.
you know, put
Let me
the.
just check to make sure that I have rewired that.
It would take up this fuel
We could just
space.
test
That's the
it here, we
problem.
could just pump a bit of
Unless you get it
diesel
to the
into storage
component
tank.
bit.
Yeah, it's true. I know there's an
I think I'd
extra
rather just have the
radio panel on
generator
deck
here
that
and
I
just
haven't
enclose
finished
it.
yet, so the big panel still works.
We'll
but the
just
little panel
fairing
doesn't.
it out of the way so you can't see it. Separate battery that only start the plane. I did think about that. The problem is, I mean, you can do it.
Yeah, so there are two pumps in the hull still, and they are connected to power and everything. So in theory, it should work. I haven't changed any of that.
Because the problem with this plane is when it's sat doing nothing, these hinges bleed energy all the time. Just keeping the plane sat bar takes energy. So over
Right, so
time,
if
it
I
depletes the
take
battery.
This back to the workbench.
You don't
Yeah,
really
I'll
need a
take
pipe between a
my one
generator
back.
and a battery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hang on. Right, clear. Actually, that'll take it back to wherever you spawned
To have a
that in,
separate
so-
a separate
you
battery
will be
to
there,
start
won't
the
it?
plane
Yeah.
is doable. We just have to make sure that. I don't. Does this game have a diode? Does it have a one-way electric flow of any kind? Because what you want is power to go into that battery but never come back out again. Relay. To flow between A and B. So in theory, if you have another battery, it can take power from the main battery.
You can put it on the top because the crossfeed should still work.
So power can flow one way across this relay, is that right?
It goes on the sides. Just
That way we can
on either
relay
side.
into the second battery. The second battery can then start the engines.
Then you'll have to turn.
So
the
it will only
pumps
ever
on
get
and off.
power,
You
but
turn
it
the
will
masting
never
on.
lose power to anything else. Relays are
yeah,
not
the
one
cross
way.
bleeds on, which is in
Interesting.
there. There you go.
There we go.
I didn't think a relay
We
was.
only need
To me, a relay is
1,000 to
nothing
get up
more
to
than a
the oil
switch.
refinery.
It's not like a diode.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to figure out how much to get
But then-
across.
You know, what's the difference between a relay and a circuit
Okay.
breaker? It's just a different kind of circuit
It's from
breaker.
K to the oil
I need-
refinery.
Yeah, I need.
That's why I
15
asked if there was a
litres
diode.
in this tank.
Because a diode only allows things to go one way. Because the moment is, as soon as you close, if you want to charge your starter battery, you need to put it in the same circuit as everything else. If you do that, the power will instantly flow from one battery to the other and they'll level out. Because you can't just isolate the starter battery. You need to get power into it at some point. So I don't think it's possible.
Right, so I've got a 0 on the storage tank. Is that right?
We would need a
yes.
one-way electric
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that can now be
Thing.
disconnected.
to make that work.
I'll go up and read it back in.
I'm going to leave the cross feed on while we travel up to the refinery in case there's a little tiny bit of... hang on, is there a diesel? No. We can put all sorts of oil in here. You just can't cross feed anything but diesel, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll have to top it up with diesel first and then put the jet fuel in.
No, because it's still got the tank connectors on the side.
Oh, yeah.
It's just for ease, we can cross feed it, can't we?
Yeah. Right, let's go.
Well, something's still working.
Hmm.
Oh, and don't forget the anchor on this is under the middle.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. But yeah, and this doesn't have a proper working litres per minute gauge.
So it's just a matter of, do we want to change the design of that?
And in theory, I think we need to...
One goes to secondary
rim
batteries and
this
one to the main.
with diesel as well.
That's why you have 2 million generators. One
Because
goes to
we've got 30K
secondary
trip,
batteries
I
and one
think
to
we
the
might
main.
have to be like ultra efficient mode, and there may even be a call to
Oh, I see what you do.
spawn curly toes back and bring a diesel airlift out to us. We'll just have to see.
You basically got 2 independent circuits, haven't you? But the problem... Yeah, the only problem with that is, like, if you have something that manages the clutch that brings a generator up, it will always charge both generators. It'll always activate both generators.
If I remember correctly, eco mode in this is 7 RPS.
Yeah, obviously I'm not worried for the up to the refinery bit. I was just getting there. It's nice that this still works, really.
That doesn't work either. Because the clutch is 2 blocks high, so I can't rotate out of that. Suppose you could do that.
But yeah, so we can simultaneously pump diesel in and jet A in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you reckon 10 at O'Neill or 10 at Harrison and 15 at O'Neill, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have that in principle and then kind of, box it all, put some fairing around the whole thing.
Completely empty.
Does the microprocessor have diodes? I do not know.
Bridge is down, so move.
Yeah, it will be because we were doing air fuels, weren't we?
Yeah, me and Paul put it down last time we played.
Yeah, I'm going to put some coverage on the engines. I mean, the problem is, like, the more you put here, you're just adding weight and air resistance for no reason. It's just styling, isn't it? So we could, in theory, split that into 2 generators.
If you jump off, I'll turn round and back in so that the hoses will be the right way round.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bugs to Josh. Is that another rename by any chance? Face the output towards and hide it along the inside of the wing. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. Get rid of that because we're going to have to change it anyway. So what we could do is we could put a clutch in the way so we can leave the power or take it kind of thing. And then we could have a T-junction like that.
Yeah, only thing you need to check is that the gantries are set to remote pups.
Yeah.
And then you can have 2 generators on the wing like that. And then box this all off, which we'll do in a minute.
So the first 2 red and orange ones, so move.
And then you can have you can have one generator charging one
Right,
battery and another
diesel's on
generator charging the
remote
other.
Control.
Strap it to the rear of the tubing. I'm not sure what you mean, to be honest.
They're both on remote control.
You can even just have this come in along here, couldn't you? Just run a gen up and down.
Do you want me to drop the anchor, sorry?
No, it's alright. I was just trying to get a better position.
So you can go the clutch that way, and then have a C-piece
Do you remember the codes?
that, and then have a gen on top. That, and then effectively
So this is going on the deck,
you would
yeah?
encase the whole thing, you know, with fairing. Why do you need a generator? The battery seemed fine on the flight to the Arctic. No, it didn't. When we got to the Arctic, we had a 30% battery, which is not... By the time you've refueled, you don't have enough power to start the engine anymore.
Oh, hang on.
Alex94K, thank you for 31 months.
I remembered.
Thank you for 14 months to
work
start.
anyway, but
Pepsi Fever with 27.
It's 12:02, isn't it, Diesel?
Right, let's do the same on the other side. We can go back to having mirror mode.
Yes.
So let's grab that tail section. Pull that away a block. Medium turbine.
Yeah, that goes on the in, isn't it? At the back somewhere.
Right, that one should be fitting up as well. Yep.
Yeah, lovely job, mate.
There we go.
See, we still don't remember how to do this.
Yeah, it may have been a while, but we remember.
Okay. Oh, you should change the name, Josh. Can you not use exhaust gas from the turbine to spin the generator? Funny you should say that. Funny you should say that. It makes no sense, but it doesn't do it right now. It doesn't do that. It should.
I'll be right back.
No worries.
So you perhaps look to, you know, enclose this thing in whatever way. Let's make sure they're separate. Yep. Just wondering how we can block this thing in. I want to add as little, you know, as few blocks as I can because everything is just weight and drag at this point.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Nutter. Right. Yeah, so you see what I'm trying to crack next, pups? This little tiny, like these 4 blocks can replace these 9. I think that'll be pretty cool once I've managed to get that.
Doesn't look as nice as I thought it might. Rotate your engines inside the generators inside the blocks above, then case it in. You can't do anything like that, unfortunately, because these are single panel. You see that? It's basically an entire single piece. You can't go into it in any way, because it is a wing section from the game.
Can't remember what the minimal throttle I'm setting on this. Was it not 008?
I think so.
007 was better.
Lol.
I was waiting for that, by the way. Like I nearly said 007 plus 1, but I thought, no, I won't. I'll say 008.
So you can kind of do
Right,
something like that to enclose it.
So yeah.
I can probably tidy this up later.
I feel like the diesel is filling up faster than the Jet A. Like the diesel tank, numbers going up nice and smooth. Then when you look at the Jet A one,
Well, it's going in at 700 a minute. Don't forget, there's no retrofit pumps on this. This is just as basic as it can be, you know?
oh, yeah.
Can't easily enclose
There's
that
no
bit.
niff-naff and trivia extras on this yet.
I want a disco ball.
Yeah, there we go. 008.
Right, we'll do that for now. We'll tidy it up some other
2.37
time.
RPS. So we've got 23 Ks to do, pups.
Yeah.
So
Right, if we look at the battery
there's
situation, there's a battery, a very large battery in here, which is the main
8,750,
battery.
Isn't it, total capacity?
We'll find out in a minute.
That's the main battery for everything. We need another battery. I think that's a medium, isn't it? They weigh 60 blocks, which is an awful lot. And this is effectively just for starting the plane, so...
Happy anniversary.
we could perhaps...
Matter.
What actually let me stack a battery? Look at that. Scumbag.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Is there diesel space at O'Neill then?
Put it on the wall. Yeah, it's just
Pretty
weird,
sure
isn't
there
it?
is, yeah.
Right, there you go. 843,750. I knew it was a weird figure.
Is this remote control still on the diesel one?
No, 1202.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Right, so they are going to be just... There you go. They're going to be just for starting the plane. That's all they're for.
Yeah, so if we call it 30k, as much as
Yeah.
that says 23,
That sounded
we
smashing.
need to try and... Did you hear that in the background?
Yeah.
Sorry. I heard the delay on the stream and it was like, was that Charlotte in the kitchen? Or yeah. It's because my office door's open.
Oh, I can't see
said
these
sorry, I don't
connections.
even
It's
know
like
if you heard
Spaghetti
that.
Junction
we
now.
did.
Okay,
There you go.
one thing I'm going to do, just going to get rid of all this.
Yeah, so we need a fuel
Utterly
burn of
useless solar panels.
281 per kilometre, perhaps ish.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll clock it on the way, and we'll know that we've got enough fuel.
I don't like this
I
view,
honestly
like,
remember it
in the
on
game.
fast
It's very
mode,
difficult to
400
see what's going on. Like,
kilometer,
everything's
isn't
grayed out. You can't color code anything.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd give you an option to color
it?
code
So
things
I'll have to go
like
slightly slower.
red is batteries, green is microcontrollers, just something to give you a visual clue. It's so hard to see what's going on now. All you can see is shades of battery. So that's one battery. That's the relay B. That's the relay A. So if B goes to the batteries, and then A goes to one of the generators, we need to decide which one's which now. So let's say the bottom generator is the one for those batteries. And also, they're going to start the engine, so I think electrical input for starting the compressor. So I need to put that here and get rid of that one. So we'll put that here, and where that currently goes,
Yeah, I think we're going to be
which
here for half an hour
is
just filling up.
Why doesn't
to the
that
main
surprise me?
battery relay. So what we can do,
So
make
option
life
A,
slightly
I built a
easier,
bumper scope,
is
and option
rename
B,
that
they put
relay.
the winches back to how they used to work.
So this default state is on, and this is the starter battery relay. That should make life slightly easier. So that's the battery relay, which I'm going to relabel that now to main battery relay. Okay, so the only things on that circuit now,
It was a lot of effort, but
the only things on that
worth
circuit
it.
now should be the jet
Well, you can
compressor, which
imagine,
starts
like,
the engine,
You do something, you fit it,
and
and you have
the
to
lower generator.
float here
on
in
that.
order to test it.
That's it. The only extra thing we might want is to actually have a meter in here that tells us what that's on. So that's going to be main battery, and that's going to be starter battery.
I suppose this is old news, but yes, Paul, you did push a tweet saying Factorio run.
I know. I know exactly what happened. It's all to do with Stream Deck.
Your high-tech Stream Deck buttons aren't as useful as you think.
Well, they are, until you push the wrong one.
So do you have one set up with a tweet just for Sunday Night Trucking?
The Stream Deck on my desk has two possible tweets. One's for Sunday Night Trucking and one's for any other game. But
Okay.
when I set up the Stream Deck, I set up the one on the rig to push out a tweet about Stormworks and not the one on my desk, and then push the button on my desk.
Foiled by your own cleverness.
Noah, thank you, mate. I need to remember to do that. So if we can find the starter battery relay in here somewhere. Starter battery relay A. Starter battery relay B.
Certainly, if you want to teleport somewhere and work on something, carry on.
I mean, it's only the truck build.
Starter
that's
electric
wasted.
battery
It's being
small.
wasted by me standing here, but
We will display
I
that
don't think I've got the energy
on
to
the
make
starter
anything
battery
new.
bar.
I was gonna say, if you want to get.
So it displays the main battery, that
displays.
displays one of the small
I would
batteries.
really
I
like
believe
to
the way the
work on
batteries
the
work is they
radio
share the
panel,
charge
the
between
mini
them.
radio panel, but
So if one starts
once again, I
depleting, the
just
other will
haven't
just
got
top it up
the
anyway.
Natter.
I need to.
The only thing you might want to display is the
there's
actual
like 4
charging.
blocks with 4 different composites on the outputs. so I need to figure out how to combine the 4 into the simple other blocks. It's down to a microcontroller, it's all it is.
Now
but
we
like I
have,
say, the finicking
I
with it is
believe,
really
4
horrible.
generators.
That was why I requested Jack put remote control ones on the other ones, so that at least I could spawn it in.
Yeah.
And then test it next to the spawn.
So we would have, let's see, starboard, starboard starter gen, which would go between. What is the generator output? Is it a value between 0 and 1? That's going to be the port side.
That's 10k.
Well, it looks like we've just about got enough money, but 15k, 500, so we're here still for 25 minutes.
I could go and make
Main
beans on
gen.
toast.
Charlotte's making my dinner.
Starboard,
What you having?
main gen. It goes
No.
way above 1. It's a 10. Okay. Between 0 and 500, really? Holy.
Let me go see. I'll be back.
On a small generator? Really? Alright, let's give it 100 then. I don't want to have a number, like a digit display. It's too much. I just want to see that it's doing something. When you look at it, you can see what value it is, but I don't want to actually take up a whole block like that to see what the number is. Holy dots, Batman. Right. So I've got 2 generators over here. This, a lower one, our starter. Starter, gen, port side starter, generator.
I'm back.
Remember?
Smoky chicken and mushroom linguine.
Linguine. Linguine just tries to make it sound posh.
What, would you rather it was called smoky chicken and mushroom fat spaghetti?
Yeah. You just want to know the working exactly. Exactly right. So what we need now is something to control the
We've
clutch.
got like another 20 minutes here, so we.
Yeah.
Right. So what we've got is
I'm gonna make a cup of
we've
tea.
got a clutch in here.
I'll be right back.
The clutch
Oh,
getting
that one.
power, by the way. Let me make sure everything's getting power because I don't think it is. The main breaker. It's the main relay to the main battery. So if we connect that to the gen. Up there. So the upper generator and the clutch and the turbine. So the whole thing gets powered.